Right, Chris, are you ready?
Yes, let me make sure it's up. All right, it should be up.
Yes, it is.
All right, go ahead and share it from there. For everybody who's joining us, we're getting ready to do a live interview here. Just bear with us while we get situated.
What's going on, everybody? This is Matthias with Operation Safe Child. We are live in Heflin, Alabama. And I told you we got two special guests. So there is going to be on Human Trafficking Response Team's Facebook page as well. This is going on with them. We are actually in the office of Mr. Mayor Rudy Rooks. And this is a very important thing for me after talking to him and learning about him and learning about the careness that he has for this community and the care that he has for the kids of this community. It's really important to me that we show the city of Heflin the great mayor that y'all have. So we're going to ask Mr. Rooks some questions. And, you know, we want to show y'all that Mr. Rooks is for the kids, but also he's for making sure the kids are protected and making sure the city of Heflin grows in a safe community. So this is what this is going to be about. So, Mr. Rooks, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Nice, thanks.
Well, Mr. Rooks, tell us a little bit about what made you want to be a mayor. I mean,
Well, that's a tough one there. I have always been involved with public safety. I served as the fire chief for the city of Heflin for over 16 years. I've been in the fire service. I've been a paramedic since 1986. Was actually the very first paramedic in Cleveland County and wanted to work here in Heflin. And I've always had a servant's heart. And as I've gone through life and working with the fire service, with the EMS, I discovered that I wanted to kind of follow into the leadership role and consider myself a servant leader. I love the people of this community. I love the citizens, and it was just it seemed to be kind of a perfect fit. The fire side and dealing with public safety, moving into the mayor's office, and once again taking care of our community and taking care of our citizens. But I love the job. It's one of the best jobs I've ever had, and you know it's very rewarding.
okay. Mayor Rooks, on behalf of the city of Heflin and law enforcement, you know, Operation Safe Child, you know, we bust predators and we protect the kids of the community. Is there anything you would like to say that, you know, with Operation Safe Child, would you be okay with Operation Safe Child staying in the community of Heflin and working with, you know, the municipalities here in Heflin?
Absolutely, Matthias. I think the job that you do, your service does, and all the others that go and try to take child predators or molesters to take them off the street is wonderful. It's a calling that not everybody has. So for the city of Heflin to partner with your organization, I think it's just it's a wonderful thing. Anything we can do to help make our city safer for our children, for our parents, for anyone involved, I'm all for it.
Mayor Rooks, I know one thing here, you know, a while back, you know, I'm not going to mention no names because, you know, we all know it's still an open investigation, so I'm not mentioning no names. You know, with what's going on and everything, do you think one day that the municipalities that we have with Heflin Police Department, you think one day that we could hopefully try to get someone with the police department to be able to do internet crimes against children in this community?
I feel like we could. I guess our problem being a small municipality is, of course, funding and setting up an officer that's his job. Uh, Although how important that job is, it takes away an officer that we've got set up for patrol and for investigations and that type of thing. So if there was ever a time that we had the funds to create a position that done internet crimes or child predator crimes, and I'm sure, I mean, I would support the idea wholeheartedly to try to get that. But it always comes down to money and funding and being able to take care of what we've got. But knowing our officers, knowing their hearts, knowing their commitment to public safety and to the citizens of this town, I think it could probably be done as part of their daily routines. I think a lot of the guys could probably work on their own on doing this as well, and I would wholeheartedly support that.
Okay. One last question for me with Operation Safe Child. I know the community, is screaming, "Save our children," and I feel 100% that you're the mayor that is standing behind Save Our Children. Would you go ahead, Mayor?
I think a lot of it, Matthias, is going to have to begin in the homes. I think it's going to have to begin with an awareness from the parents to know what's going on with their children. We encourage outdoor activity. Our Parks and Recreation department here is second to none. We have a beautiful park over at Cahoga Creek Park. We have a disc golf course. We have fishing. We have kayaking. We have hiking. We have a spur that goes into the Pinhoti, ties into the Pinhoti Trail. Our Parks and Recreation does organized sports with baseball, football, soccer, all kind of things. But it's going to take the parents getting their children or their kids out of the house, taking their devices away from them, or just putting them away for a while, and encouraging them to go out and explore the outdoors, and not necessarily just send them out of the house to play, but go out with them. Get involved with their activities and what they're doing. Teaching them to ride bicycles, and don't buy them a motorcycle to get on. Teach them to ride a bicycle and enjoy that, and just monitor what the kids are doing. I think that's very important. In today's society, we tend to want to just give our kids a device and let that be the babysitter for a while, and not really get involved in their lives. So we provide a lot of outdoor activities here in Heflin, and we just encourage the parents to take advantage of that and get outdoors and get involved.
Well, Mayor, one thing I remember my question now. What would you say about Operation Safe Child and Human Trafficking Sex Response Team coordinating with law enforcement, coordinating with the municipality of the law enforcement here, and helping Chief Benefield and the Heflin Police Department here make sure that we can train their officers on identifying child sex predators and identifying predators, and helping them make sure the streets of Heflin does not have a predator walking the streets. We're protecting the kids with your office protecting the kids as well, and Chief Benefield's office protecting the kids as well. What's your idea on that?
Well, Matthias, I think with our police department and having such a proactive department, having such accommodating officers, the excellent leadership of Chief Benefield, I think a partnership with Operation Safe Child is just a no-brainer. I think what you guys bring to the table and what we would be able to capitalize on is just phenomenal. You got the training, you've got the experience, you have the know-how to share that with our officers, and I think it'd just be a perfect team, and I would wholeheartedly support that, because our guys that are out there, they're involved with the community. They know things that are going on. They've got a pulse on what's happening in our community, and for you to train them, to give them other things to look for, and just put another tool in their belt, and would just be great. I mean, like I say, I would support it 100%.
Well, Mayor, thank you so much for answering my questions. What we're going to do now is we're going to let Chris with Human Sex Trafficking Response Team ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Hey, everybody. Again, my name is Chris. Let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am the founder of the Human Trafficking Response Team, and we are a team of licensed private investigators here in the state of Georgia. We investigate sex traffickers. We investigate any type of trafficking. We rescue victims and educate people about human trafficking. To give you a little background, I'm ex-military for 10 years, military private contractor, and an independent contractor as a private investigator. We have a very solid team, and we're getting ready to explode all over the country, all over the world, including a few places like Kenya, Ghana, and I am also working on Dubai. Now, I'd also like to touch on what the mayor said. He actually nailed it about devices. Parents, he's absolutely right. You need to limit what your children are doing with their devices, monitor what they're doing on their devices, and make sure they're not using social media as a diary. Because when you do that, you're giving predators information about what's going on, and they use it against you. We touch on that all the time when we do our lives. But anyways, I'm just gonna keep it quick. I'm gonna ask a couple questions. Like I said, we want to spread throughout the United States, and starting with really good connections with law enforcement, the local government. How can we build on a relationship and spread throughout the community and eventually throughout the United States, starting with you guys?
Well, Chris, I think what we're doing right now is kind of kicking it off. I think networking, reaching out to other agencies, and getting involved with local governments, and kind of starting at the grassroots level, if you will, and then branching out as you build steam and build momentum. And I think it's a great idea, just starting like you are with the local, because that's kind of where it all comes down to anyway, is your local guys. So I think we're doing that now.
Absolutely. I think this is great, and I really do appreciate you doing this, because this will help spread a lot of awareness. So we actually discussed this earlier. A lot of governments and a lot of local governments think that sometimes sex trafficking or human trafficking in general is not happening in their area just because they don't have any confirmed cases. But in reality, a lot of these cases are just cases that aren't reported, which happens all over the world. So as mayor, what would you like to see in your local community do to improve and be more aware to tackle this trafficking issue?
Well, Chris, I think it begins with awareness, knowing what to look for. And we discussed this earlier. We didn't, really didn't think we had a problem, and I still don't think we have a problem. Mm-hmm. But coming from the fire side, I used to teach our guys that prevention is the best way to fight fire, prevent it from happening. So we developed a very good fire prevention program with the city of Heflin, and our house fires and our accidental fires went down tremendously. So it's all about prevention. So if we can be the first in to prevent it from happening, to educate, to make aware of our residents on what to look for in something like this. We can nip it. We can nip it in the bud. We'll borrow that one from Barney Fife.
Okay.
We'll just nip it. So I think it's awareness and prevention.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I can get on board, and whatever we can do to help, I'm definitely down. And I've heard nothing but great things about your area. Your law enforcement is on point, very responsive.
Thank you.
They're on the ball when it comes to answering an issue. They have zero tolerance, so that's amazing.
Thank you.
But that's all the questions I have for you personally. Did you have any questions for us?
No, not really. I mean, I'm proud you're here. I'm proud you're choosing Heflin as a place to kind of I'm not necessarily kick it off, but I don't know how many me. I was telling the guys earlier, I have more of a face for radio than I do for any type of video or Facebook or anything like that. But we love our town. I love our town.
Absolutely.
The people that are in it, and I want to do whatever it takes to support our law enforcement and support your operation, Matthias's operation, to help reduce, or let me just rephrase it, help eliminate any type of predator activity that would be even considered to be going on in Heflin. We want to we'll stop it right there.
Okay, perfect. I really appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right.
Mayor, I just want to say thank you for, taking time to talk with Operation Safe Child and Chris's organization with Human Sex Trafficking. I want to say this, Heflin, Alabama, I think y'all have y'all's mayor here, and I think 110% keep your mayor in office so we can keep our kids safe in this community. And that's coming from Operation Safe Child.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.